Well, Americans will be going to the polls tomorrow. At least some of them will. Interest in the midterm elections is reportedly at an all-time low. But what's high is anger and frustration with Barack Obama on both sides. Case in point, Kentucky. The incumbent senator is Mitch McConnell, the Republican minority leader, and one of the loudest Obama opponents. He's being challenged by a Democrat, of course, who's trying as hard as possible to distance herself from her president. Here's Neil Macdonald.
Here we go, guys. I need to get your syrup for you.
The Dairy Barn Diner in Caneyville, Kentucky, serves plain food to people who work hard. Loggers and farmers and truckers, people who know they've become steadily poorer over the years, even if they have a hard time explaining why.
They don't help the small business people around here, nothing, you know. Gas is too high. You know, I own my own business. I'm in the logging business. You don't get no breaks, you know. So, I mean, it's all rip-off.
The food here is starchy and cheap. As hard as people in Caneyville work, the town isn't doing so well. People seem tired. Yes, they know there's an election going on, but most of them couldn't care less about politicians, except for the one in the White House. Even Democrats here don't care much for the name Barack Obama. You're a Democrat?
Yes.
What do you think of Obama?
What do I think of him?
Yeah.
He's the president of the United States. I pray for him.
Kentucky is poor, very nearly the poorest state in the nation, so you would think that democratic social programs like Obamacare, which guarantees at least some medical coverage for everybody, would be pretty popular here. And Obamacare is popular here as long as you don't call it Obamacare. In American politics, facts don't seem to matter much anymore. In Kentucky this election year, facts don't seem to matter at all.
Now we're coming down the home stretch.
Allison Lundergan Grimes is a Democrat running for the United States Senate in Kentucky. Like several other Democrats up for election nationwide, she's running away from President Obama. But Grimes has made national headlines by stubbornly refusing to say whether she's even voted for the president in past elections.
And you won't answer that question tonight?
Again, you have that right. Senator McConnell has that right.
I hope that you've enjoyed your time in Kentucky.
She criticizes Obamacare and refuses to say how she'd have voted on it. Her ads rather bizarrely accuse her opponent, the most powerful Republican in America, of being soft on illegal immigration and an enemy of Kentucky's coal miners. Grimes is, in sum, a Democrat behaving like a Republican.
I'm not Barack Obama. I disagree with him on guns, coal, and the EPA. And Mitch, that's not how you hold a gun.
To understand why, one has only to visit the Dairy Barn. Sharon Camp is a Democrat, and she acknowledges that Obamacare has rescued her from ruinous medical costs. Yet, she would vote Republican, and she's tepid about Obama.
Oh, yeah. There ain't very many people that like him.
I don't know of anybody that'll admit they voted for him.
Right.
Cullen Eskew is also a Democrat, but he doesn't like where the party's leadership stands on another issue.
How they feel on same-sex marriage.
Why is that?
But I'm against it. I mean, I'm a Christian, so according to the Bible, it's an abomination to God, so.
How you doing, fellas?
David Beasley is the diner's owner. He's not a Democrat, but he's confident that all Kentuckians are united by another issue.
Homeland Security. And putting the American citizen first for a change instead of taking a back seat to every other immigrants. You know, we've been citizens of the country for a long time, and we're constantly have to take a back seat to the immigrants.
You're talking about illegal immigration.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sam Youngman is a national political columnist. He's following this race, and he's seen parties run from their own president before.
It's a sharp disdain for the president. I think some of it is race-based. I think, a lot of people in this country never felt comfortable with a black president.
There is also, of course, the fear of seeing a way of life change.
Take them right over here, pull them through that gate, okay?
Edward Bennett is a Republican who breeds world-famous horses outside Shelbyville. He says some of Barack Obama's values are widely perceived here as threats, especially by evangelical Christians.
It's generation after generation of being raised a conservative and having those conservative values and morals, and the pro-life is a big issue in this area.
Bennett says Obama's positions are often addressed by religious leaders from Kentucky's pulpits.
I've heard those conversations about the women's right and the gay and lesbian marriages and stuff that you would typically hear in the Bible Belt, and that's a big concern. They feel.
And Israel?
And absolutely, Israel, yes. Disappointed in the lack of help and support of Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israelis, who are trying to live in peace and are being bombarded every day.
Please join me in welcoming your next Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell, the state's senior U.S. Senator, the man Grimes is trying to unseat, looks utterly unworried about her challenge. He is nationally identified as Obama's chief nemesis in Washington.
There's nobody running in America this year the liberals want to beat more than the guy you're looking at, and I'm proud of my enemies.
Of course, the Bible Belt is just one part of America. Nationally, Democrats may well maintain the status quo tomorrow, and in any case, it'll just be an opener for the main event 2 years from now, which will very likely involve the woman who was in Kentucky Saturday at Allison Lundergan Grimes' side. For The National, I'm Neil Macdonald in Louisville.